Sup, playa? Happy Sunday! It's time for our oracle forecast for the week. See what the energy is going to be like. We're using the Oracle of Oddities, editions 1, 2, and 3, all crammed into one deck. How is everyone? How was your weekend? Mine was good. I hope you guys enjoyed our full moon workshop. I filmed it Friday. I posted Saturday morning, so you can still go watch that. And for my new moon and full moon workshops, I would say that they're good to watch at any time. I mean, yes, they are sort of like geared around the weeks around that particular moon cycle and phase, but they really are like part of our ongoing developmental story. And so they're relevant anytime. And there's always like general spiritual advice woven in through the whole thing. So those are good to watch at any time. Still good to take advantage of the full moon energy. Definitely. I've got like all of my favorite people that post that I'm just going to kind of like veg out on their workshops maybe after I finish this one before I go to bed, or maybe I'll save it for tomorrow morning. I don't know. But yeah, so I had my niece's wedding shower yesterday. It was really fun. And then me and my bestie went out and painted the town red last night since I didn't have to work, and it was a good time. We talked to boys and had drinks and had, oh my God, my pizza. I had the best pizza ever. It was from, there's a little pizza place inside of this bar called Public House. It's on the back of Urban Cowboy Airbnb. And this pizza, oh my God, it was so good. It was New York thin crust, very large pepperoni. I think there was maybe jalapeno, something spicy, and a little basil, and then a honey drizzle. It was so multidimensional. It took me through time and space, and something about the taste reminded me, you're gonna think I'm so weird, it's so random. The flavor of the burnt part of the pepperoni combined with the other dimensions of the pizza and the honey tasted like eating popcorn that had been slightly burnt at the movie theater in like the 1980s, going to see like a summer blockbuster. Like nothing more visceral and specific had ever washed over me than when I took my first bite of this pizza. I was like, oh my God, this tastes like all of that I just said. So if you're like, how could a pizza taste like that? I don't know, but maybe you should try going and having their pizza. It was amazing. It's the bee sting pizza. I highly recommend it. It tastes just like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies from the 80s. I am literally the weirdest person on the internet. Otherwise at work, it was a super fun night. It was fairly chill, just slow enough to not get stressed out, but just busy enough to be slow and do a bad job. Because somehow it's like everything times, like it's all kids at the same time. So you're like, I know I'm not busy, but like I need 14 things like all at the same time, and I'm failing everyone. We also have a dry erase board by our server pass, and while we polish and things like every now and then, if we have like a slow night or whatever, we'll use the board to play a game. And so tonight I started this project where I put everybody's name that we could think of, everybody was working that night, and like all the other servers that we could think of and the different staff, and we put sun, moon, and rising, and because everyone that I work with is like super into astrology, at least most of us are. It's like our passion. And so we like mapped out like the whole staff, like their top 3. And it was like everyone's masterpiece. We were just like all like a think tank, just like analyzing each other all night. It was so much fun. And we got so into it. And we're like trying to see how long everybody will leave the grid up. So I think it's a good reference tool for us all. All right, you guys, what do we want to know for the week ahead for our highest good? What do we need to be aware of, keep our heads up about, or take advantage of? Ooh, growth. This is going to be a big growth week for us. I love this. To me, this is, sometimes when you think, oh, we're going to grow this week, it feels like, oh, growing pains. Like it's going to be like something that does not kill me, but makes me stronger. But I don't think that's the case. I think that which has not been killing us has already been making us stronger. And so now it's like we're going to shoot up. Like, have you ever had like planted seeds and like nothing's happening, and then like the rain comes and it's just like rainy for a couple of days and it doesn't seem like anything's happened, but then the sun comes out and then the combination of everything that's happened is like all doing its work, and then all of a sudden like your plants shoot up and they like fill out and everything gets a lot taller. I think that that is what this is. I think that like all of these tests and these like challenges and these like moments where we get to like embody this new us and like try to handle things in a different way, it's like it's been going on for weeks, and we're like, when are we gonna like start seeing the results of this? It's like the same message. It's just like the slowest like unfolding of the introduction of a movie ever, right? But like suddenly I think we're finally gonna start seeing and like feeling the results starting to really show this week. That's my feeling. It's my feeling, and I'm sticking to it. Ooh, okay, what else do we need to know? Just still staring at that, like all the offshoots off of the spine. It's like spines off of the spine with their own heads. Such an interesting image. Oh, embrace. Okay, so the more that we embrace the moment that we're in and not resist it, not push it away, but just really accept this moment, we release suffering. It's like when we can't accept the moment that we're in, or we're trying to resist it, that's what creates the suffering. It's not to say that we grow complacent with life and just, you know, get walked all over. It's just that when we really face things head on, with sobriety and honesty and groundedness, and we're not fighting against like, oh, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening? Oh, if only this and that. It's like all of that emotional drama is just sucking all of your energy out of finding a solution and just getting through the problem and moving forward and continuing to be cause consciousness and having that unwavering sense of peace and just, all right, take it as it comes. Like, we'll just deal with it. So embrace the moment. Don't resist. What you resist persists. Instead, face it head on and decide, you know, using all of your wisdom and where you're at now. It's like, okay, now decide, how do I want to meet this situation? How do I want to handle it, right? You know, you can do everything that you can proactively in a physical sense and in a spiritual sense, but at the end of the day, it's like what gives you the inner peace is just knowing that you did what you could, you said all your prayers, you did everything in your power and in your higher power. You tried to get every, you know, resource involved. Now you just to let it go, right? Let the chips fall where they may. That's what, you know, we mean by just like being like accepting it. Like don't fight it emotionally, just deal with it as you need to, right? And move forward. All right. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, Dharma. Oh my gosh. So our life purpose is really coming into play. Just all of those soul assignments, right, that we have in this life in our tikkun, it kind of plays into this whole, okay, well, what is the purpose of each of us, right? And so sometimes your purpose is interwoven into like your career, but not always, right? And then sometimes our purpose is like this big thing that we're gonna do, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes like our real purpose, like when we leave this world and we find out what our purpose was, it might have been something as simple as, well, your purpose was to overcome your indecisiveness and learn how to share more with others and be more intimate with others and have deeper relationships. But you know, you were really distracted with trying to like get your company going and you thought that was your purpose. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to really start having more of an idea of how our purpose, like the context of our purpose within this life, and understanding that we can bring a sense of purpose to each moment. But I do think that there's going to be some kind of insight this week that we're going to get about kind of how it all fits together and like what we can do with our spiritual gifts, with our experience, and with the perspective that we've been able to develop over time. Because that just plays into some of the readings that we've had recently leading up to this. So it seems like a developing theme, but I think that we're going to have some insight and some direction, or at least some inspiration and some kind of seeing the big picture of how it kind of fits together for us. And there could be some kind of thing healed, like a situation that was one of those big kind of fate things that you were supposed to, like this thing was supposed to play out and it was always going to happen, and it was like this moment where, like, you know, it was a deciding factor in your growth. A deciding factor in your growth that was like always meant to play out, and it's going to help you fulfill your purpose, right? And become this higher version of yourself. All right, Yins, one more card. One more card to round out the reading. I still haven't done my weekly reading for myself. I went back to sleep this morning. I usually don't, but I was like, I need to sleep for another 20 minutes, but then my alarm didn't go off, and so I slept for another couple hours. So when I usually do my weekly reading for myself on Sunday morning, and I just didn't have time to today. All right, final card about what we need to be able to look out for this week to make the most of it, make the most of this life. Who is this? More subconscious work. If you have not been tapping into the subconscious, then you ain't be watching these readings. So sacral chakra is coming up as something to, as an energy center where we need to focus our intention and attention this week. So this is going to be like your second chakra up near the like sexual organs. This chakra is associated with the element of water. It is ruled by the moon. So it would be associated with Cancer as well. But this is where your energy center governs like your psychic impulses, your dreams. The astral realm is associated with the sacral chakra. Sexual urges, desires, lust, shame, guilt, all of those sort of themes that can interplay together. Like we store our guilt and our shame here, and this is where we heal that to have healthier sex lives, right? But it's interesting because this is also where the subconscious is, and we throw all of our subconscious is greatly affected by all of that early childhood trauma. And, you know, trauma that occurred during our adolescence and our personal development. It gets kind of like, it affects the subconscious and the way that the subconscious runs, right? And the programs that we have playing out. So right now is a very, it's a good time with the Pisces moon that just happened, and also like leading up to Rosh Hashanah, the preparation work that we're doing to sort of correct a lot of negativity, so we can get the most out of the day of Rosh Hashanah. A lot of this has to do, or like requires us, with all this energy supporting us going into those, into that subconscious, identifying patterns, identifying limiting beliefs, identifying the things that are lurking down there that are sort of like really running the show and driving the ship. And we're really healing those things and turning them around and readjusting them, and just having more awareness. And when you're become aware of these patterns, the more that you practice the awareness around them, the less power that they have, because you'll notice when you start to like reflexively kind of react in a default setting according to those old programs, you can kind of catch yourself and you're like, oh, I don't have to be on default setting anymore. I can actually slow down, pause, evaluate the situation, ask, okay, why is this playing out in my life? How is this playing out for me? What is it trying to illuminate me about, or how can it expand me, or what is it trying to show me? Right? And so yeah, it's like, what is the purpose? How's this playing out for me? And then you can choose with your divine gift of free will, you know, how you want to move forward in a proactive way, right? So this week we have a lot of growth we're going to be witnessing in ourselves. We're going to feel like we've grown a lot. We're going to feel ourselves growing. I don't think it means more chaos and calamity. I think it's as a result of like all of the stuff that's been going on. I think we're going to feel the growth. We're going to see the growth. Embrace the moment. The more you can embrace and like peace and release, right? It will create so much less dissonance, and it will create so much more harmony, and you will be in alignment alignment with your purpose, with your life purpose, with your kind of divine universal plan, right? Falling into all alignment with this, and then all of a sudden it's like all of your chakras sort of like come online together. And yes, get in there, get in that subconscious, balance your desires, don't suppress them, but don't get too gluttonous or anything, and try to identify your shame and guilt and let go of that and heal that, because that's a very heavy, low vibration that causes a lot of blocks in your life, and it pushes a lot of things away that you don't even realize, and that seem unrelated. So we're offloading shame and guilt because it's a waste of our time and energy. All right, y'all. Let's one more. Growth. I love these illustrations. Embrace. Yay. Dharma, and sacral chakra. And I think too, I just was like thinking, we've grown to the point where we can finally embrace all the things in our life that have brought us to this point, right? We can embrace our calling. We can embrace everything that created us into the person that can embrace the calling, and all of the experiences in our life that added to our spiritual gifts and talents that are going to support us in our calling. Okay, and then I think that maybe we can do something creative with it, or get creative about what we want to do with our purpose and through our purpose and with our purpose. All right, y'all, be good, but not too good. Ciao.